everyone, it's Rambling Hour with Lisa, season 12, episode 8, I think. How is everyone? I'm coming to you live from the living room. I hate when I set things up because I think it's going to be a certain, like, whatever, and then it changes. So, the way I had it, you could see just a little bit above the fireplace. You could see that stuff there. And then, like, down here as well. So, and now it's, oh, I could just sit on the floor and that would look more autumny. Anyways, how is everyone? What is new? There's a reason that I have not only, oop, just popping my plastic off of my ring light. Okay, so there's a reason that I have the autumn theme, but also, no, need to be up a little bit more. The reason I have the autumn theme, as well as this big fat turkey, which is one of my very favorite. I probably showed you him before. He's from Canada, and I'm so glad I bought him. I bought him on clearance, and I'm so glad I did because he is just perfect for Thanksgiving. And it is Canadian Thanksgiving today. So happy Thanksgiving to all the Canadians celebrating, including my friends and family. Come on, how are you on there? Including my friends and family in Canada. So it is hard for me to know how we're supposed to celebrate Thanksgiving with still giving respect to Indigenous in Canada, because for the way that I was raised was, you know, the mythological Thanksgiving where we are supposed to, I'm going to just turn off my Wi-Fi. Sorry about that, just turning off my Wi-Fi. On the 19th of October, which is my dad's birthday, although he's in heaven, we're getting new Wi-Fi, so hopefully it'll be really awesome in this house with the Wi-Fi. But anyways, what I was saying is, I'm trying to figure out how, oh yeah, we were sold the myth of Thanksgiving, like as if the First Nations, Indigenous, and the Pilgrims and pioneers like sat together and rejoiced in the harvest, and it was like a bonding of the different nations and everything else. But as we know from the genocide that's happened in North America, it was nothing like that. It was Pilgrims feasting on their stuff while Indigenous were without, and everything that had been stolen from them. So I don't want to not celebrate Thanksgiving because I don't want to diminish, or what's the other word I'm looking for, like I don't want to minimalize what happened in the North American history. I don't want to minimalize that at all. But I do want to continue to celebrate Thanksgiving in the way that I was raised to celebrate it, is as in, not only, they have the Pilgrim festival, not Pilgrim, Pilgrim? No, not Pilgrim, what's the word I'm looking for? The festival over here, from way back yonder, is the Harvest Festival here in the UK. So it's a similar thing. It's a harvest festival where you celebrate your harvest for the season. So I want Thanksgiving to be what it was where I grew up, and what we were raised to do is not only be thankful for the blessings and the harvest to help you get through a tough winter ahead, but also to be thankful for anything that you have in your life. Now, you should have gratitude and be thankful every day of the year, but it's just like Valentine's Day, where we should show our love for each other every day of the year. It's still nice to have those days that celebrate it, just like Mother's Day and different days like this. So I want Thanksgiving to be a day where we, if no other time in the year, we forget what we have and what we're grateful for. It's funny because I think it was either today or yesterday that I was just outside and I was walking and I was thinking about some things that I don't have in life. And then I thought, Lisa, instead of being ungrateful for what you don't have, think about everything you do have. And that's what I'm saying. So I do not want to minimize or take away from the struggle that white man has created for the indigenous in North America for centuries, and but I don't want to not celebrate Thanksgiving, because I think what it is and what it could be is a really positive thing. Yes, it's the same thing with Canada Day, where there's controversy there too, and I don't know how to be proud of who I am and where I've come from without it taking away from, So anyways, happy Thanksgiving to friends and family and people who celebrate it. And I will still keep decorating for the seasons, because no matter where you live, well, that's actually not true. Some places don't have distinct seasons, really. Here, they're even not as very distinct from each other. My mom says, "Hi, Lisa." Hi, Mommy. Happy Thanksgiving. I am thankful for the family that I have here, even though I'm sad that I can't be with my family in Canada for this Thanksgiving and having a meal with them. I am thankful for all the Thanksgiving celebrations that we had together as a family in the past, so that even though I'm not there now, I can celebrate those and remember those in my mind. I am thankful that I'm very sad to hear about Palestine, I think it's Palestine, invading Israel. But I am grateful that my cousin, who is there with his girlfriend, who is of Israeli descent, and their daughter, well, he's there for 4 months. I'm grateful that they're safe. And it's terrifying with the wars everywhere, Ukraine, everywhere that there's war. But it's even, it's hard for people to relate or to really feel it unless it has happened to them or someone that they love. So me having a very close cousin in Israel right now is even more like, or when the fires happened in Hawaii, and I have a friend who lives there, and just, knowing that it is different when it hits close to home. But at the same time, as we've talked about the Ukrainian war before, and it's still ongoing, it's sad and horrific no matter where it is and who it happens to. So let's pray for them as well. And if you don't pray, then you can just send positive energy to people affected by war and the trauma that comes with after the war even as well. Samantha says, hello Samantha. My friend Samantha was here today with her children. Well, yesterday I babysat the youngest two, Danielle and Spencer, and her oldest, Tyla, hung out with Erica because they're best friends. So Tyla was sleeping over. And then today when Samantha came to pick Tyla up, she had time to have a visit with me, and we played with the kids again. Well, she plays with the kids every day because they're her kids, but Danielle and Spencer. Spencer is 1.5, and he's just starting to get such personality now. And Danielle she might not always be a dream for her mom, because that's how kids are, but she's a very sweet little girl, and I love spending time with them. So, and then me and Samantha, it's the same thing with Erica and Tyla. Like, no matter if they spend a day together, 2 days together, it just, when you have to take them apart, they're heartbroken, and it's like it's never enough time. And me and Samantha know what that feels like, because we feel the same way when we hang out. It's just never enough time. But unfortunately, or fortunately, we have our beautiful lives that we have to deal with and we can only have so much time together. But we're going to go out for lunch this week sometime, because it was her birthday in September and mine's coming up, and we both need to, yes, Samantha said it's never enough time. So we both we're going to take each other out for lunch. So because we both have a birthday, we're going to do it twice, because why not? More time together, and I love eating. So my hat, now it looks cute sideways like this, but really the seam is right here. I have this in black and gray. I bought them last year, but so with the seam, if I put it at the back, then it would still look cute from the side, but from the front, I guess it still looks okay, but I think for the purpose of, I need to do my roots again too. For the purpose of the live, I'm going to have it on sideways, because I think it looks cuter that way with the I don't have a brown hat like I did in the little Bitmoji cartoon. So I heard something today. So Bitmoji, that's the little cartoon emoji thing that I do. Bitmoji started with bit strips, which was a cart where you could create your Bitmoji, your character, and then you could do comic strips. And I don't know if you guys remember bit strips or not, but I absolutely loved bit strips, and so did Steve, and we loved making them and everything else. They were started by some Canadian people, and what happened, why did it go away, which was so devastating? Well, I guess when you get to a certain point and you usually sell your company to a bigger company, they sold it to Snapchat. Snapchat only wanted to keep the Bitmoji part of it, where you create your avatar. They didn't care to keep the bit strips, where you could create cartoons of the Bitmojis doing things and interacting with other friends who had their Bitmoji. So Snapchat, once they bought it off of them, they didn't keep it the way it was, and they got rid of that part. But the sadder thing was, what I was listening to, it was on Canada Land, the podcast that I listened to about Canada, independent Canadian news podcast. The sad part is that I guess there was, like, with these Bitmojis and bit strips, it was a huge useful tool for a lot of teachers in schools, especially with kids who were less verbal. They were able to use these comic cartoon strips to say things that they wouldn't have otherwise said. And so teachers were using it, and it was a great resource. And then once Snapchat bought it, they shut it down, and so all the teachers who were using it as a teaching resource couldn't use it anymore, which is heartbreaking, because that was even better than just me playing with it and making cartoons with me and my friends. But I wish that somebody would take up the, obviously, like, they probably, when they sold it, they probably had some kind of whatever it's called, where they couldn't create a company similar to it for however long and everything else. But I wish that somebody else would come up with a concept very similar so that teachers can use it in the future. So what is new with you guys? Oh, hang on. I think I missed a comment. Oh, no, that's Samantha saying it's never enough time. So what's new with you guys? What have you been up to in the last week? Did you enjoy my cooking last week when we made rhubarb apple crumble? Yeah, crumble. And banana zucchini bread. So after we were done, Steve didn't go out last week, did he? He's gone out this week. That's why I was like, when he got home and I talked to him? No, when I went upstairs after I was done that, I was just laughing about what a nut I am, and how, like, I didn't have enough ingredients, and you know how messy I am if I spill things and all these things. And I thought, what a bumbling fool I am. But then I thought, you know what? If you want to watch a cooking show, then, like, for the purposes of learning how to cook, then you would watch a cooking show. But I think part of the charm of what makes my rambling hour entertaining is the fact that I am a bumbling fool, and that people who tune in expect that from me, and it makes it that much more, maybe not laugh out loud funny, but enough to be, sorry, I just thought of something in my head that made me laugh out loud today. I'll tell you in a second. But yeah, makes it charming, and then makes people come back for this. So, Steve, listen, me and Steve are partners for life. It's all about the farts. I grew up with stomach problems, so I am not a girl who doesn't fart, and I'm not a girl who doesn't like talking about farts or burps or whatever. But Steve sent me this TikTok with, like, the 10 something farts, like the 10 top farts or something, and I was laughing out loud. And I can find lots of things funny, but to laugh literally out loud, I don't know why. I wish I laughed more, but it takes a lot for me to, like, actually laugh out loud. But this was just, I watched it twice, and I was laughing so hard at these. I'll try and put the link in the comments after if I remember. Samantha says, I watched a Canadian comedian last week. She was fab, and she has a podcast called Women Talking Shit, I think. Do you remember her name, Samantha? I would look it up on my phone, but my phone's there. So yeah, which reminds me, Steve said that I should do that. If I want to have my phone further away to get more of the background or whatever, then I should have his iPad or something here so I can read the comments closer. And the reason he said phone there and iPad here is because the phone has a better camera than iPad, because the iPad's old. So that, and so what else? Our bathroom is getting renovated, which is very exciting for us, but me and Steve went to a movie last night. We went and saw Expendables 4. It is, I mean, not my type of movie because I'm not really into fighting kind of movies, but it made my husband happy, and that makes me happy. So it was nice to have a date night, and it was all right movie. It wasn't the best out of the 4, but it was still all right, and it, like I said, it's nice to get out. Plus, oh, that reminds me, I have salty popcorn left from. I like salty popcorn. He likes sweet popcorn, so we can't even share popcorn when we go to the theater. We each get our own. But I have some left still. I wonder if, like, you know, like pizza and McDonald's French fries and like lots of things taste better when you put them, when you rewarm them up, if you put them in the air fryer. I wonder if like popcorn would become crispy and fresh again if you put it in the air fryer. I'll have to try that when I'm done this. I'll let you guys know if I remember to tell you guys, because lots of times I don't. But, so, oh, also, on the 4th of October, it was 3 years since I started doing my rambling hours. 3 years, that's crazy. And thank you to everybody who watches these. And when I'm feeling down and thinking there's no reason to make these, somebody will tell me how much they like them, which makes me feel good. And I'm still doing these. So, wow. I mean, look at me. The girl who never committed to anything. I have a long relationship. I've lived here, this is what I was going to say. On October 4th, we left Canada and arrived here on October 5th. So October 5th was 9 years since me and the 3 squirrels moved here. And so, yeah, 9-year relationship, 9 years living here, 3 years doing the rambling hour, years and years of loving gardening. I am not the girl who doesn't commit to things anymore. So, I did some shopping for Halloween and autumn, and I have to say that even though in the past it hasn't been that great here, they don't have the things like the consumer-driven North America, they are getting better with like autumn and Halloween decorations. And I bought these little cups, and I thought about using one of them tonight, but this one has a squirrel on, and this one has a hedgehog on, and this one says snuggle season, and this one says warm and cozy. So I just thought I'd show you guys those. I'm gonna have a drink of my soda pop, and through the season I'm just using this cup still. It's not as good drinking out of plastic. It doesn't keep the pop as cold as glass, or even, I should get I like the shape and size of the gin glasses, but I should get like a big, is it called? A goblet. Like a nice metal goblet that will, and then I can put it in the freezer before I put the pop in it, and so it'll be nice and cold and keep my pop cold for longer. I love metal straws. I've told you guys this before. Out of a annoying, like, okay, yes, the environment is the most important. I will absolutely agree to that. So I had no problems with them getting rid of plastic straws if it meant that it would be better for the environment. Paper straws, however, hated it. Rather you not use a straw than use a paper straw in most circumstances. However, the invention of the like aluminum straws, whatever they're made of, the metal straws, that they're awesome. They get so cold, they keep, like, the pop is cold going. I love my metal straws. I carry a bunch in my glove compartment in my car. I have them in my handbag, which in North America we call a purse. And I love my metal straws. So Samantha says the comedian is Allison June Smith. Not heard of her, but very interesting. We'll have to look her up. So you said she was funny? And did you say you watched her or you listened to her podcast? So I'd have to look back in the comments. So, like I said, Steve's out tonight with his mates, and it's just me and you guys here. So what is happening? I thought about having like a turkey dinner and then putting a table in front of me and then pretending I was like eating my turkey dinner with family and friends for Thanksgiving, but I didn't. So what did I make for supper today? Oh, today, okay, so yesterday and today the weather was really nice. So besides visiting with Samantha and her kids, I was outside gardening and watering plants and just getting things ready more for the winter and stuff. But what was my point? Hang on. Food. Oh, right. So, yeah, yesterday I made sausages and pasta with like a tomato sauce on it. So there was leftovers from that, but I also made grilled cheese and ham sandwiches today on the skillet, so that was quick and easy. So that is what I made for dinner. And Samantha said about the comedian Allison June Smith, she was hilarious and I watched her on Tuesday. And Jackie says love your hat, and Samantha says happy Thanksgiving. And Samantha says, we had a roast dinner. Yes, Samantha had a roast dinner, even though it's not Thanksgiving, but she told me that she's making a lamb roast dinner. Yum, yum. I love lamb. So, Samantha didn't eat the lamb. Let's not fool anyone. She's a vegetarian. So, or vegan. I think she's a vegetarian. So, thank you, Jackie, about the hat. I like it too. This is actually my first time wearing it. I have it in black as well. And it was meant to be more of an autumn hat, like when the weather's just turning a little bit cold. Well, no, I'm kind of lying, because it was when I was looking for witches hats last year, because I'd love to have like really cool witches hats. And I bought a few last year, if you guys remember from doing my Halloween episodes. But I also love this one because really it is advertised as not just like a witchy looking hat. It is like an autumn hat where the weather's getting a bit cold out and you want to wear something to keep your head warm. So I do plan on wearing it outside. However, Steve, even when I put it on today for this, he just gave me a weird look. But you know what? He married me, so he knows what I'm like. Mom says, we are having our meal today. That's what I thought, Mom, but I knew that you may or may not have tuned in. I thought, because this is earlier, I don't know what time you're having your Thanksgiving dinner, but I thought you might still tune into this because it's 8:24 p.m. here, but that means it's 1:24 there. Oh, so are you having a sorry, somebody just came in the front door. Lena, quiet. Lena, come here. Lena. Good girl, come here. Sorry. Lena, good girl, come here. The door is closed, so she can't go see who it is. But, and whoever it was went upstairs, so they didn't come to, say, quiet. Mom says supper. So that means later on. So I was going to say, are you having a late lunch or a supper? So they're having it at supper, so you have time to watch me. And then entertain the family. Who's cooking the turkey? Is it my little sister Tina and her husband Ryan? Are they hosting and cooking the turkey, Mom? Or are you hosting and cooking the turkey? Say happy Thanksgiving to everyone and that we wish that we could be there for the celebration. Mom says yes. You know what? Maybe next summer when we come to Canada, we'll have different decorations and then we'll do these quick changes. We'll do an Easter dinner and then a Thanksgiving dinner and then a Christmas dinner, and we'll pretend like we've had all the seasons together. Mom says Ryan is cooking a brisket. Well, that's a new Thanksgiving. I have not ever had brisket to my knowledge, and I've never had brisket for Thanksgiving, definitely. Samantha says Lena was so good today. Lena is an old lady doggy. She's 11, a German Shepherd that's 11, so it's very old for her. And what Samantha's referring to is having a 1.5-year-old crawling on her. I mean, we didn't let Spencer hurt her or pull her hair or anything like that, but she is a mommy at heart, even though she didn't ever have puppies. But she does love Danielle and Spencer and kids in general. So Mom says everybody is contributing to it, and I think that's oh wait, did I miss something? Oh yeah. Mom says I am doing stuffing with a turkey neck in and some cabbage rolls. Everyone is contributing to it. And that's how I think it should be. It should be like a potluck. So I don't think that potlucks were totally invented by Indigenous, but at the same time, wait, hang on. Potluck. So there's something that Indigenous have that sounds like potluck. That so I can't remember what it's called now. What's another term for potluck? I was just listening to it on something, and I thought, yeah, but where everybody brings something and contributes to the meal, and I think that's how it should be. And there is someone who in our family doesn't have necessarily a lot of money, and they are only coming for themselves to the dinner. So to feed. If I was coming with all my kids, then I should contribute enough food for that many of us to eat. If we were, you know what I mean? Like, I can't just come with like 4 kids or 10 kids and just bring a little tiny dessert. Like, that's not fair. But this person who was single on their own and didn't always have that much money, they were the ones who were in charge of the buns. So, which is, something they could afford, and it was for everybody. And I thought that, things like that are great. So, well, that's really nice. Mom says that Ryan's parents are coming too. I love when in-laws can get together like that. I know my mom's mom, because her dad died when my grandma was pregnant with my mom. My mom's mom and my dad's parents knew each other, and I like when in-laws can get along like that. So my little sister Tina, her husband Ryan, his parents are coming to the Thanksgiving dinner. It also saves with the family, so Tina and Ryan and their kids having to do 2 Thanksgivings with each family. So that's nice. I hope you guys have a great dinner. I know there's some traditions that some people do at Thanksgiving, where there's this one that I've seen on the internet where they have a tablecloth where every Thanksgiving someone writes on it. I mean, everybody writes on it what they're thankful for or whatever. And I can't remember if then somebody stitches it in with embroidery or if it's just markers that don't wash off or whatever, but it's on a tablecloth. And I don't think we've done it at Thanksgiving, but I know one Christmas. The Christmas was different. So Tina, my little sister, again, when she was younger, she made these Christmas trees, and everybody had one, and you went around and wrote on the Christmas tree for that person things that you liked about that person, and then everybody had their Christmas tree with all the things that people said about them. But some people at Thanksgiving, they'll do similar things where they'll have like a leaf or something, and then everybody writes things they're grateful for. And I think that's cool too. You can have a tree, or even on the wall, like an outline of a tree, and you can tape up your leaves with people's things that they're thankful for and stuff for Thanksgiving. So there's those fun things too. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the episode, where there's these traditions and things that make Thanksgiving an enjoyable thing, that I don't want to lose that part of it, whilst still respecting Indigenous and the fact that Thanksgiving was started with some negative things attached to it. So it's very difficult for me to know how to, especially as a North American white, it's hard for me to know how to balance giving Indigenous their due respect and making being an ally in what's the word I'm looking for? Retribution, but also still being proud of who I am and the Canada that I grew up in, where it was a very loving place where I grew up in my experience, and that was including just give me a second. Lena, enough. People going in and out of the door, and her just standing at this door barking, and they're not coming to say, it's just me, or anything, even though they should know, like every Sunday, that I'm doing my live. Sorry, a little bit grouchy there. So, and I went to school and grew up with lots of Indigenous people, and like I think I've said before, like in my school in junior high, so when I was a young teenager, the most popular girls in school were Indigenous. Like it was people liked people and didn't like people, but it wasn't based on any of our nationalities. We went to school with so many different nationalities that I thought about it. And in my class, for the most part, growing up from like K to 9, it was really for the girls. There was, I think, about 3, maybe 4 white girls, and the rest were all different nationalities. And maybe how many white guys? 1, maybe 2 white guys. I mean, it changed year to year, but yeah, we were quite a balanced. It wasn't like it was a majority. Where I grew up in a city, it was very multicultural. But speaking specifically of the Indigenous, we were just raised to love everybody for who we are. And I want to be proud of the Canada that I grew up in, where we are a melting pot and where we love everyone. Samantha says, Danielle said roast potatoes. Wait, I missed something. Samantha said, I told the girls it was Canadian Thanksgiving, so we went round the table and said what we were grateful for. And Danielle said roast potatoes. That's really sweet because not everybody gets to have good roasties. So that's sweet. Danielle was so cute today. She was mimicking me when we were in the kitchen, and I can't remember the things I said, but she was really funny repeating what I said. Samantha, if you can remember the things that she said, then you can put them in the comments, but it was really funny. She was making me laugh, and then I would laugh, and then she was mimicking the laugh, which made me laugh again. And even the one where I was like trying not to laugh, like I was like snickering to like, she started doing that too, and it was really, really funny and cute. I was just gonna, to end that thing I was saying about Thanksgiving and Indigenous and that, I was gonna say, I'm not saying that my experience and the way I grew up was everybody's experience. But, as Samantha said, I can't remember, but it was funny. I know, yeah, it was. And the first thing I said it in a different, like, kind of voice too, like, oh yeah, whatever, or something, and she mimicked what I said and the voice that I said it in. Very, very funny. This is kind of cute. Like, this way it's a skull, but I could just use it this way too, and there's like a skeleton hand there, so that looks creepy. So Steve asked me what I want for my birthday, and I was like, I have no idea because I have everything because I'm a spoiled little girl. But I thought about, like, there's these 3 yellow candles, and I don't know if on there it just looks like one big blob of light, or if you can make out that there's 3 yellow candles at different heights. And I don't know if she just burnt them at different times to make them different heights, or how she did it. But I actually got them from my friend Athea, like, years ago when the kids were little and I still lived in Canada. And she's good at getting rid of things. I'm a hoarder, so I kept them. But they're ones that I burned. But I have, oh, you can't see up here. I have 2, like, burnt orange. They're called burnt orange. That's the color. I didn't burn them. But there's 2 candles. I just got them. They're actually gingerbread, but I have them turned around so you can't see the label. Gingerbread, but I have different sets of candles like that. There's orange ones over there. I have green ones. So, and like at Christmas, I have different ones too. Like I'll buy 2 candles to put them out, but I don't want to burn them because I know, use it or lose it. But I don't want to. Actually, I could like whittle in the top and just make it for a tea light to burn. Anyways, I don't want to burn them, but at the same time, I thought like I love this setup. And the only ones I had that would even go with this decor even a little bit were those bright yellow ones. So I thought maybe some candles, but in sets of 3. Which then, when I got, there's like these other things that I put tea lights in. And then when I was going through my drawers, I was like, man, I really need to go through these candles. And again, use it or lose it. So even though I don't want to burn my big pillars that I have for different seasons and stuff, although I don't know if it's those orange ones, there's some that kind of got melted up in the loft and they're a bit wonky. I have tea lights and votives that I definitely could burn. So I need to go through them and use them up because they are old, like party light days. Like that's before I even had kids. So I'm pretty sure the candles that are like 20 years old or older might be time to burn them. Then the same thing with the hoarding. Like I have wax that I like save. You know when you burn a candle and the wick is gone, but you have like the wax, and then I'm like, well, do I just throw the wax out, or should I save this wax and then make homemade candles at some point? So do I put the wax into a container and just throw it up in the art room with everything else I have up there for making things, or do I throw it out. I hate wasting though. It's not about throwing things out. It's not about getting rid of things. It's about wasting that I hate. So, yeah, that's what I'm torn on. So anyways, today is October 8th. So we have a few weeks before Halloween, but this will probably be my last autumn decor until maybe November. But the next few weeks are going to be Halloween. So reading Halloween stories might be a special like Saturday kind of live for the kids, or whenever it works out for kids to tune in live, but also they can watch it on catch up as well. I don't know, on catch up. That's like on the TV. You can watch programs that have already aired on, like you can catch up with them later, so it's called catch up. So that's where I got that phrase from. It's so silly. So, sorry, this bra rides up. I got a bunch of bras from Steve's Warehouse, and I got so many. I tried them on. If they fit good, then I kept them. So I have about honestly 30, but I want to wear them each at least once or twice. Don't worry, they're all clean and disinfected, but I want to wear them once or twice to see how they fit, because sometimes you put it on and it seems like it fits good, but this one keeps riding up, so it's not the best. But bras aren't always comfortable anyways. I've never wore this shirt before. It's kind of cute, like a Day of the Dead kind of skull. So what were we talking about? Oh, so reading the stories. It's 2 stories from my childhood. That one's called The Witch and the Riddle, and the other one is called Bony Legs. And I just realized not too long ago when I looked up Baba Yaga, which is a kind of witchy lady in the not Czech Republic. Well, it's in Eastern European folklore. And Baba Yaga, Baba means grandma or old lady, and Yaga, I can't remember what Yaga means now. But anyways, she's kind of a witchy old lady, and this book I have, Bony Legs, is definitely loosely based on the Baba Yaga. So those are the 2 that I'm going to be reading. And Baba Yaga, Bony Legs is about a witch, and so that one's a little bit scary, but it is a kid's book, so I loved it when I was a kid. And the other one, The Little Witch and the Riddle, is a very sweet one. She's just a little girl who's a witch, and she has a little goblin friend, and she has to solve this riddle, and it's a really good book. It was my brother's book, and I loved the version we had of it too, because it had got wet at some point, so it was kind of wavy and warped and just old, and I loved it. But when I posted about it on here, because in the inside it said to Billy, and it was from our cousin Thane, it was for my brother's birthday. My brother was never sentimental and didn't keep a lot of things, but I think because his wife is into witchy kind of stuff that they probably would keep that one now, because then my cousin Thane was like, that's not yours, and I'm like, I know, but Billy doesn't really keep things, so, and I love this book, and he's like, yeah, but it's not yours. So then I sent it to my brother in the post, and I bought my own copy of it, but the one I got was one that was printed later. It looks plasticky on the outside, kind of. You'll see when I read it, but it doesn't look as awesome as my brother's, but it is true. It is inscribed to him, and not only that, he has 2 daughters, so even if he's not sentimental, one of his kids might want it. So I didn't steal all my brother's books from when he was a kid. If he doesn't have them, they're still at my mom's house on the bookshelf. What was this? But I did kind of take that one because I really liked it, and because I was more of the witch than my brother. He wasn't even a warlock or anything like that. But, yes, so, Rambling Hours for Halloween. We'll do a Rambling Hour special, where 2 years ago I was a mad scientist with my little subject that I subjected to gruesome food and everything else. And then last year I was a witch, and my little familiar, and so Erica, who's 15 now, she was and wants to be a drama teacher. She was my little subject 2 years ago, and she was my familiar cat last year. So we'll have that special. I don't know what my brain sometimes just I I don't know what my character, that's the word I was looking for. I don't know what my character is going to be this year, or what, if Erica's going to help me out and be a character or what. But we have that special, whatever you want to call it, the character special, Halloween special. So we have the reading one, which I said it's probably not going to be on a Sunday. It's just going to be a bonus one of me reading 2 stories for the kidlets. And then there's going to be baking Halloween treats and cool things like that. And hopefully I will have a helper for that. I don't know if they want to announce that they might be my helper, and we don't know if it's 100% for sure, but that is our plan. But either way, whether they can make it or not, I'll still have a rambling hour where I'm going to be making special treats and stuff. And so I did the maths in my head, but now, okay, so 7 plus 8 is 15. So the 15th, and then plus 7 is the 23rd. No, wait, 30. No. What? 15 plus 7. 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Oh, the 22nd. And then the 29th. And then it'll be Halloween 2 days later. So that's 3 weeks that we have for Halloween. So like I said, that's basically it. The foodie, the character special, and then there's one more. So I'm not sure what I'm doing on that one because the reading thing is separate. I could do like Halloween crafts or something. I have no idea. Witchy stuff, spell work. I have no idea what you guys want to do. Listen, I am too lazy to even practice Wicca, or I heard on a thing when there was someone who practices different witchcraft and stuff like that, and somebody called them Wicca, and they got really mad, and they were like, no, men invented that. So they didn't want to be associated with Wicca because it was invented by men. But yes. I am just too lazy to have any practice, so whether it's a religion or those, you know what, even like, say, people who are into astrology, or people who do palm reading, or people who read cards, like tarot cards and oracle cards and stuff like that, I'm just way too lazy to put all of my stuff. I like learning a little bit here and there, and I'm just going to be who I am and trust in myself, and I'm going to stay connected to my spirit team and my guides and my higher power, and I'm just going to go on my path. But I'm definitely not one to specialize in any of those areas to the point of knowing everything about it. Although I do listen to a podcast, it's called Glitch Bottle, and it talks a lot about different, it says glitch bottle, and it has like a noise like, it's like uncorking the uncommon. And yeah, so it talks a lot about different things like pagan stuff and witches and warlocks and magic and all that stuff. And so I like learning about it and listening to different things about it. And then obviously the spiritual stuff. And then you guys know I'm into like positive death movement and everything else, but I'm way too lazy to be a teacher or a student of any one practice, like continuously. So, Samantha says, oh, I had spell books. I'll see if I still have them. Oh, that's cool. So that's the thing. This is what I'm saying. Like, I guess like you could look up, it's just like different herbs. Like no matter what if you're an herbalist, or even if you're indigenous and you know some of these things that are good for different things and everything else. And yes, I am a gardener. So it would make sense that if I was a witch that I'd be a nature witch and that I would know these things about herbs and stuff. But maybe I'll learn what different herbs do like as time goes on, and then even spell work and stuff like that. Like there's do's and don'ts, and I just don't like all those rules, no matter if it's religion or whatever. And it's not that I don't respect it. I know that there's negative out there, whether you call it evil, negative. I know there's the yin and the yang, and you got to respect it. So you don't just go into something blindly. So I'm not going to go in practicing magic or saying spells and doing all this stuff willy-nilly and in a disrespectful way. But at the same time, even saying prayers are like spells. Even saying, I hope that my mom has a wonderful Thanksgiving. That is basically putting that energy out there. That is like saying a spell, which is why your words are, like, it's really important to watch what you say, because your words have power. So whether you make it rhyme and make it into a spell, or you use certain herbs and that kind of stuff, what you say has power. So that's why you got to try not to say negative things. Because, you know, when someone says, I curse you, that whether you believe in curses or not, whether you think a bad spell it will work or not, your negativity is going out into the universe, just like your positivity is. So you can have your own spell book, you can have your own grimoire, and it doesn't have to be specifically based on a certain type of practice. But like I said, still be respectful and be careful what you dabble in, because there definitely is negativity out there. Like you can open doors to evil and negative things. So just, you know, but if you're practicing in love and light and you ask your guides to protect you and keep you in love and light and you're doing things for your best good, then you should be all right. So, yeah, I don't even know what time is it. Yeah, so what else do you guys want to talk about? I haven't drunken all my pop yet. I like my hat too. It's cute. And I love my hair. I know I'm like a bit obsessed with my hair and I keep playing with it and it looks like a big fat wig, but it's only because, like I said, I usually have it up in a pony. It's like the fuzzy pony. It's not usually out like this, so I don't get to see this cool amount of hair that I have most days. It's just surprising how so much hair can be squished into a little ball. Yeah, so I do want to, I would like to have like those spell books and do all that kind of witchy stuff and everything else, but I at the same time, like I said, I'm just not focused. I barely write in my dream. I do journal, but it's not like I write down my dreams in my dream journal and I write down my poems in my poem book and all those things. I kind of just write things wherever and then I have to put them together later. And so I don't have like just a spell book. That's why like when we're doing the death positive stuff and we're doing our end of life planning, there is that one book that I want to write it all in so that people know where it is, instead of having to listen back to all of these to find out what I want for my funeral and afterlife and all that. And you know what I mean? Not my afterlife. I mean, after I die, they don't know what I want in my afterlife. They're not going to be there unless they die first. But I thought about that too. Like we could do that with the third Halloween one. Like with the what am I saying? My hat just I don't know why it's just seeming weird to me and bulbous right here and covering my face too much now. Maybe it feels like the camera needs to be up more. I don't know. Maybe I need to sit back in my chair. I have no idea what changed, but just feels weird now. See, like I keep getting cut off. I don't know. Anyways, so I'll sit like this. You know how last year I did the flower arranging, but I don't think I did it on my rambling hour. I think I just grabbed a bunch of stuff and then put them together before my rambling hour and then showed you them. Maybe I will do that. Maybe I'll just grab a bunch of stuff from the garden and we'll make them together and see what goes together. And then you guys can see how easy it is to put those arrangements together, even though, like the same thing last year, even when I made those arrangements, that was me going literally right before my rambling hour and getting whatever I could find in the garden, and then putting them together. So yeah, maybe we'll do that. We'll see. So we are almost out of time for today. So is there anything else you guys want to talk about before I go? What am I doing after I'm done here? Do I need to clean up? Well, the kitchen kind of needs to be cleaned up. Taking my houseplant seriously, as you guys know. So, this stand right here, I don't know how much of the stand you can see, but it was in the bathroom downstairs, but I had to take it out of the bathroom because, you know, everything's on the bathroom downstairs because it's getting renovated. So it's a cute little wooden stand, and it has all these houseplants that were in the bathroom, but I kind of like it in this corner, although there's another stand behind it, so it doesn't totally look good with that stand behind it. But my point was houseplants. So today, most of them, well, let's say half of them, on the first floor, like this floor of the house, I have taken houseplants and checked them over for bugs. It is my first time dealing with thrips, although fix my bra. On a YouTube I watched where it was talking about treatment of them, he called them thrips. So I'm not really sure if you pronounce them thrips or thripes, but I'm pretty sure I've heard them called thripes. But they so tiny, and is it the females? Like the adults are black and they have wings and they're like little tiny, like, you know when you cut your nail off, like a little, they're like smaller than that. And the black ones tend to be on the tops of the leaves, and if you turn it over, and like I had to put my glasses on to see these, but I could see them with my glasses on, so you would be able to see them with your naked eyes if your eyes work better than mine. But if you turn over the leaf and you see little white things, little tiny, like they're like a straight line. Yeah, I'll have to put pictures on, but yeah, and you can see them moving, and they basically suck the life out of your leaves. So there was this one plant that I had in the entranceway. It's Monstera, and I was wondering why it just stopped growing and the leaves are starting to curl and it wasn't doing good. It wasn't too wet, it wasn't too dry. I have two that are exactly the same age, basically, one upstairs and one downstairs. The one upstairs was fine, and I didn't know what was going on. And these things are so small that every time I check the plant, especially with the lighting in there, if I didn't turn on a bright light or whatever, and not wearing my glasses, I couldn't see anything wrong. So it took me putting my glasses on to see these little guys, and then I realized that they're on some of my other plants. So I treated all my downstairs plants. I've watered them, cleaned the leaves with like insecticidal soap and neem oil that's mixed, and sprayed the leaves top and bottom, and just treated them. So there's a few of my plants that had aphids, and lots of them that are healthy, but that's what I did today, besides visiting with Samantha and the kids and being outside. Well, I took some of the tall plants outside and hosed them down out there, and then did the insecticidal soap and investigated them and everything else. And like this one is in the, I don't think it's it might be a pepperami or whatever they're called, but this is a very healthy one. It's a bit of a stretched one, but it goes in the bathroom, so there's good lighting there, so I can't do much more for it. But it doesn't like too much water. It likes to just be left to its own devices, watered a little bit here and there. This is a variegated one. I have some in the entranceway, one's that's like a lime green and one that's a darker green. They're smaller than this one, but they seem to be doing well as well. And I have one like this, the same thing, variegated in the kitchen, hanging in the window. But this, and this one, I just noticed, like with my glasses on or without, it's very healthy and happy. And I just love when I'm doing it right. I love this pot, but Nova, the puppy that we had before, broke it, but I glued it back together because I liked this pot. But I just love when the things that I'm trying to grow are actually thriving, and I'm getting better at this. But I'm not just a green thumb. It is learned. It's definitely learned. I've killed a lot, and I was wondering that. If aphids or thrips kill a plant in my possession, am I the murderer or are they the murderer? Now, is it a matter of if I didn't know they were there and the plant died? Because I was thinking, like, how many plants have I had that died? And I thought, what am I doing wrong? And really, it had thrips, but I never noticed because they're so small and I didn't look. So then whose fault is it? Did I kill the plant or did they kill the plant? I don't know. That's what I want to know. So either way, even when I kill bugs, I just tell them to go live their afterlife in my garden in heaven, because I don't want to kill them. But if they're, it's got to be a balance, right? I don't want the plant to die either. So yeah, man, can I ramble? You know what I should do? I should have like this program like once a week where I like ramble for an hour, although I ramble like way more than an hour in the whole week, but but just this hour rambling for your pleasure. So I don't know what I'm going to do when I'm done rambling. I've already eaten supper, which is healthy. Me and Steve are getting on the workout train again. So we'll talk more about that when we do it. Thomas's birthday's on Tuesday. He's going to be 22. So we have that birthday dinner and cake and stuff like that. And then we have my birthday a few days after that. But we can always start our working out and eating right. Our goal is to see like how far we are for Christmas. I mean, not that we're going to stop at Christmas, but we're going to, because we love who we are, but we love who we became when we did all that work and lost weight and we're healthier. And we want to be those people again. Not only that, our dogs need to be walked. So we need to do that as well. So we're going to start on that train again. But we're still going to indulge in birthday cake and stuff like that, because it's got to be a balance about being healthy, but living life. So that is something that we'll talk about in the future. And obviously I will have other guests as well, which I look forward to. We are like about 6.5 minutes left of rambling, so we can do a question. I listened to something and it talked about the body works, and well, it was like the process that the body works is called like plastification or something, where they like, and how it works, like those body works, like, you know, where you, it's like worldwide, when you go to a museum or something like that, what's it called? A display, a show or whatever, where it's like the bodies that the skin is taken off and you can see all the muscles and how things work and everything else. And the episode that I was listening to, it was on, it was either on Cult Leader or Obituaries with Spencer Henry. Obituary I've told you guys about before. He's with, Reyes, what's her first name? My brain's not working, but he does Cult Leader. And it talks about different things on there. And one of them, they were talking about the plastic. I think it was on Obituaries. But anyways, and then I thought about like talking to you guys about donating your bodies to Body Works and stuff like that. But I think we've already talked about that before, so that can't be our question. So I got the old handy dandy death deck. Closer? Okay, death deck. The way to make it fun talking about death and funeral planning and all that stuff, and end of life care. So if I take the death deck out, we know there's two different sets of cards. There's multiple choice questions, or what do they call, written answer questions when you do a test. So I'm going to take that one right there. It's a multiple choice question, and let's see if this is good for our end of life planning. Ready? It says, oh, I could read the comments a little bit better because they're further away. But if I have this thing that close to my face, I need the spectacles. Okay. My personal belief about hospice, so that's at the end of life care, is A, it's a hope crusher causing too much focus on end of life. B, it's a blessing allowing care and quality time at home. Or C, it's tough to beat the lazy river vibe of a morphine drip. Okay, so hospice. So palliative care is like really, really end of life. Hospice can be started a lot sooner than palliative care, and a hospice, even if you have a year or two to die, but you're living with something that you know is terminal, you can still get into hospice, and they can help you with resources and different things. So it's good to have that communication open and stuff like that with hospice, because they can help you along the way, especially dealing with death. Most of us have not had to deal with somebody at their end of their life. So if we find ourselves in a situation that it's ourselves who are at the end of our lives, or someone that we love at the end of their lives, it's a very difficult thing to deal with, both obviously emotionally and all that stuff, but also how to take care of the person and everything else. Hospice is a blessing. That's my opinion. Hospice is a blessing, and even people who work in hospice say that people don't take advantage of hospice as quick as they should. Lots of people think you have to wait until the end before you get in contact with hospice. But if you have a terminal illness, if you know that it's terminal, then look into hospice and all the different things that they offer, especially because even if you're not ready for hospice care, they'll have the resources to help you along the way, even if you end up living for 5 or 10 years with whatever it is that you have. So I think hospice is a blessing, and I have no problems if I need hospice care at any point in my life or end of life care. So you guys will have to look into it more. Maybe I'll have more to talk about it in other episodes. Not necessarily around Halloween, because I'm not trying to make it like, I'm not trying to, this death talk and everything else is a serious thing. Mom, don't shut it off. We need to talk about these things. That's why I'm in the death positive movement of making these things okay to talk about. And because if we don't have to deal with our own funeral, we're going to have to deal with other people's, or someone's going to have to deal with ours. So we need to talk about these things to make it okay, so that when we come to those points in ours or other people's lives, that we know what to do. Mom says, bye, Lily, but Lily put, love you, have a great day, love to everyone there. Mom, I said don't shut it off when I'm talking about death. I only have a couple minutes left. You can stay tuned in. I love you too. And if you've already hung up, then you won't hear this, but you can hear it later. And love to everyone there as well. And I'll tell everyone here that you said you love them. It's just, what was I saying? I don't know, I lost my train of thought. But we are at the end of the rambling hour, and we will be back. Oh, I know, I was going to say that, listen, I like the witchy season. Mom says, hush, puppy, I'm still here. I love the witchy season, the spooky season, the whatever you want to call it, the Halloween season. I love it. I love the witchy things and everything else. But I don't want to disrespect what I'm doing with the death positive movement. It has to do with making it an okay thing to talk about, and not just in a morbid, spooky way, but in a way that we accept it as part of life. If we talk about births and marriages and all those things, then we need to realize that death is just another transition in life, and it can be a celebration of the life that has been lived, and bon voyage, and and that person is going to be birthed in the next life. Like, they're moving on in their journey. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a negative thing. So we need to talk about these things. Hashtag positive death movement. All right. Okay. So happy Thanksgiving to everybody who celebrates it in Canada. And I hope you guys are well. I don't have any pumpkin pie. But it's funny because I love that Canadian Thanksgiving is in October, because you got November, you got Remembrance Day, and you're coming up to Christmas, and you got all that stuff. So like, I think American Thanksgiving is way too close to Christmas. But the good thing is that it's after Halloween, so then your pumpkins are done from Halloween, so then you can use them to make the pumpkin pie and have it ready for American Thanksgiving. However, the pumpkins are already out, and if you grow them in Canada, then you know that they're, you harvest them, so you can still make pumpkin pie for Canadian Thanksgiving. I just haven't done it yet, because my pumpkins are right here, so they're not carved into jack-o'-lanterns yet, because then they'll rot. You don't want to poke them until it's close to the day you want them. Look at this one here, all bumpy. Well, I can wreck this now, because it doesn't, well, actually, I thought they looked good here. I might, well, will the dogs, I wonder if the dogs are going to mess with them if I leave them on the floor. And I got these little ones. I didn't grow any. These are all from the supermarket. But look at this warty one. I love this warty one. It's all warty looking. Very cool. All right, so hey, look, I'm not totally useless. I can catch sometimes. All right, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving if you celebrate it. If you don't, still think about what you're thankful for and be grateful for it. Because yes, lots of us have things that we don't have that we would love to have, but be grateful and thankful for the things that you do have in life. All right, we will see you next week for our first of the Halloween specials. And I'll let you know when I'm doing the reading of the kids' books for Halloween. All right? And Samantha says, pumpkin pie! Goodbye, love you. That's what she says. Yes, Samantha loves pumpkin pie, and I do have frozen pumpkin ready to make pumpkin pies, so it is something that I should and will be doing in the next, I don't want to say a few days, Samantha, but maybe a few weeks. All right, okay. So I love you guys, and I hope you guys have a good Sunday, and we will see you next week. All right.